Alright, I'm a little bit bored today, and I recently was thinking about how shit the state of parkour is right now, so I thought I'd record a little expose on the history of Weebcraft, because I don't think many people know it, and I mean, most people don't know, like, or don't care about Weebcraft anymore, but fuck it, here it goes. So, the main reason I started it was because I hated how Tidecraft had just come out, and it killed Wizard Parkour, I believe. I don't know if it was the first rendition of Wizard Parkour or the second, but it killed one of them. And I remember everyone was playing Tidecraft, and it had like a ton of really shitty rank ups, and I was just like, you know what? I could probably do better than this. So me and B&M, kind of fucking around, went on to a server, I made a quick little free server using Server Pro, and I called it Weebcraft because I initially didn't have any plans for it. I was just kind of like fucking around, you know? And then I actually started like building stuff, and I got like my real life friend involved, and yeah, then I actually got kind of invested in it, you could say. And then Weebcraft was born. And the reason I didn't switch the IP name was because a bunch of people had already heard of the server and knew it by its name, Weebcraft, so I was like, well, now it's kind of too late to switch the IP. So I started building it in about February 2017, I believe. Whenever Tidecraft came out, maybe like a couple weeks after Tidecraft came out, I started building it. And it took fucking forever, honestly, for like what came out. Because when I released it with 8 rank ups and like 10, like 10 things. Fuck me, and 10 like sky parkour things that were just really short to get money for people, and like a couple challenges. And I actually really think that system was quite good, a lot better than a lot of the other things, because now like there's currency on certain things, like currency on servers, but the currency doesn't do fucking anything, so like it's kind of pointless. And you know, if you're gonna have a currency on a server, like a parkour server, you have to actually give people incentive to get it. And I know Jumpcraft did that with speed, but I'm pretty sure most people really don't like speed parkour, or at least it's not their preference. So I decided to do the me and B&M like co-decided that it should be you get speed, or you get the currency by playing sky parkour that like people can make to then be used to buy challenges, which was like harder rank ups that were their own rank up system. And I think that system worked pretty well. It honestly, I think that's one of the things that kept the server somewhat alive during its lifespan, was that people actually built stuff for the server for a while. And that was because people had a reason to play Sky Parkour, so they knew like, oh, if I build something, people might actually play it, rather than like, it's just, a lot of servers now are just like, they release it with like a bunch of rank ups that become impossibly hard, and then like nobody has anything to do, so the server just dies. And like, the average lifespan of a Minecraft server now is like the average lifespan of a fucking meme, like just a week, and then it'll die and get replaced by another server that's like not that good, but people will want something new and whatnot. So like, yeah, I thought the system was pretty good for Weebcraft. Fuck, this video is supposed to be a history of Weebcraft, not my political views on fucking parkour. But anyway, yeah, so then I think it took about 4 months or something, or no, like, yeah, 3 or 4 months, because on May 26th it came out, and I remember the day before, B&M was like certain that it was way too early, and that the server was going to be like dead immediately, and he actually wasn't wrong, because when it was first released, the server was only like 4 or 5 people came on the first day it was released, and that kind of pissed me off because I was like, all right, this. I mean, I didn't hype up the server as much as other servers. That was one key thing that I did not want to do because Tidecraft did that, and like 70 people came on the first day, but then it immediately declined and it never hit that amount of players again. Whereas Weebcraft, I wanted to be like a slow build because servers that just like servers that boom and then servers that like get popular and then nobody cares about them afterward are much sadder, I'd say, than a server that like people care about, at least for that people that don't start out caring about it and then they actually start caring later. So it was kind of just like a word of mouth thing that I wanted Weebcraft to be, and it did kind of work out well that way. And it was actually quite good that it was a slow and steady build because, like, as more people came on, more people started like contributing to the server, and it like kind of exponentially grew. And over that entire summer, I remember really, toward the beginning, I really liked working on the server, but then it slowly became like an obligation, you know? And once it became an obligation, I just was like, yeah, this is kind of, I don't know. Because when you have your own server, you can't really play the parkour that's on it. Unless you like, well, you just can't. Because like, I remember one of the things that I started doing well into the time that I had the server was I'd start like pretending. I made it to where I would never show that I was online. People would only suspect that I was online if they saw that the player count was like one higher than what was shown on the tab. But I'd try to be very careful about that because I hated every time you're online as an owner, people want you to do shit. And like you just want to like chill for a little while, but you can't. So it becomes like an obligation way more than it's a fun thing that I actually had like wanted to work on. And that was one of the early signs of me like wanting to quit Weebcraft. But I don't think anything about Weebcraft was really bad that made me want to not do it. I think it's just like a general rule that a lot of server owners don't like, unless they have like a ton of help and they're getting like maybe money from it, like Hypixel or something. Because Pixel, for Pixel Jumps, the recently deceased server, that one, I was talking to him for a while, and for a long time, he really didn't like running the server. I don't know if he wants me saying this, but he doesn't really care anymore, I don't think. But, yeah, he wasn't really feeling it, kind of like how I was toward the end of the life of his server. And he did a similar thing to that I did. So, like, come end of summer, so I killed the server off on like October 13th or something. Like actually officially killed it off. And I had been planning for it for a long time, but I didn't tell anyone. So I turned it into a meme of, let's sell the server to Hello Serena for an unban on Jumpcraft. Because she banned me because I was a server owner, and she's done that to plenty of people without giving a reason. It's just kind of characteristic of her at this point. So I was like, okay, if I'm not going to have the server, I kind of want to have something to do. And there weren't any other servers that were like really fun to play at the time, so I was like, well, if I'm going to want to play Parkour, I'll sell it to Serena. So I just gave it to her. And I thought it was a really funny just concept. And looking back, I shouldn't have done it because I just got banned anyway recently because someone... So, like a while later, what the fuck? That's not even possible, is it? So like a while later, that's not possible. Oh, okay. So like a very long time later, after a lot of servers were like showing how dead they would get, like really soon after they released. I think like QB Gaming or something. I don't know if that's his name, released a server that was like literally Weebcraft, and they called it Weebcraft 2.0, and he did it with like Merlin and something, and that was a bit of a meme, because like I was okay with it, honestly. Like, I really didn't care, but Serena wasn't too happy about that, so she banned me and B&M, just because like, I didn't know that they were going to make a server. I just thought they were asking for the server files like just anyone else had done, and I made the server files public before I even gave it to Serena, so like she couldn't have really claimed that that was part of the deal, that like that was part of the deal of me giving it to her, because what I wrote down was very, at least of what I can remember. She deleted the forum post, so I don't have any proof of this, but from what I can remember, I said that she could use it for anything she wanted, but that didn't mean she actually owned it. And very recently I found out that, like, I think she uploaded it. From what I've heard from B&M, she took the server files and uploaded them as her own without giving credit to anyone involved with the server on Planet Minecraft, which, I mean, fucking who cares, because I don't think anyone uses Minecraft forums or anything like that anymore, but out of principle of it, I think it just, like, shows how much of a cunt she can be. But yeah, fuck, where was I in the story? So yeah, I was hating it. I was hating the server. I sold it. Well, not sold it. I mean, I didn't get any money out of it. It put me down like about $70 total, I'd say. Yeah, I think that was about it. $70 was the cost of running that entire server, which, I mean, for the amount of time and the enjoyment I got out of it, that's like fine. Maybe not even $70, because let's see, from May, well, yeah, probably $70, because I had to pay for the server even before it was open. I know I got that figure from somewhere, but yeah, it was fun while it lasted, I'd say, but anything to do with it just like turned me off, because I really hated going on the server. I added the sky rank up thing because that was like really easy to build, and I was like, alright, I need to actually add content to this server, but I hated adding player maps. That was another thing. Like, that's a really fun idea, I think, to have people be able to submit maps, but it's so annoying to have to like look through and do the whole process of adding something for someone, and I don't know, it was just too much work. I mean, I wasn't even working. I had like all the free time in the world at that time. Now I'm working, so I really wouldn't even be able to run a server fully. But at that time, it was just like, I could be doing something else. And I was like, alright, after I quit the server, I thought I would quit Minecraft. I was like certain of it, but then I got like hooked back into it because there were other servers and like people were still playing, and I mean, even though it was kind of dying, and also because I had gotten it for Jumpcraft, I was like, alright, I may as well play Jumpcraft now. And I did everything, like, legit on there, and, like, I didn't hack, I didn't do anything to Serena, except she was really pissed at me. There was one thing I did, or said, rather. I was just talking to someone, and then she muted me, but then enough people complained to her she unmuted me, but then said, never talk to me again, even though I hadn't been talking to her. So, you could tell she really is, like, fucking crazy, honestly. But like, yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of fucked how she behaved. But now that I am done talking about Weebcraft, I guess I'll comment on the fucking state of the absolute state of parkour now, which is just fucked. So like I said, every server just dies in like a week. Right now, I think it's like Jump Legends and Colorcraft are the two most popular, neither of which are even like that fun to play. Jump Legends is probably the better of the two. But it's all, there's nothing new. Like, absolutely nothing new has been done to parkour lately, which kind of sucks, because like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you could do with parkour to make it interesting, but nobody cares to expound on it. There's plenty of like good, all of the like people who would make the best owners, I can tell, don't become owners because they just hate it, like I did. Like, people who are actually good at parkour, who are good at making stuff, like, becoming an owner just kind of traps you because you don't have time to make anything or do anything. So, like, you know, it's just kind of, like, demoralizing if you want to do anything to become an owner. And I can see that's kind of the state that we're stuck in right now, where Minecraft just kind of, or parkour is just kind of in this limbo. I'd say there's at most like 1,000 active parkour players in total. Like, outside of Hypixel, Jumpcraft is dying. Jumpcraft is like really dying. Because I remember like a summer ago, just last summer, it was having like 70 players on during the day, and now it can like barely hold 40 or whatever. And now it's just kind of like nobody cares about the game. And I can totally get with that, because it's gotten to a point where all of the players who are actually dedicated to parkour are way too good, and they don't, there's nothing you can really do anymore to kind of cap players, because like the whole rank up thing, ever since Rank Up X came out, that was kind of the spawn of Jumpcraft knockoff servers, because X was like this one thing that everyone aspired to, but nobody actually fucking get off my screen notification. It was something that everyone aspired to, but never actually. Why the fuck is a local? Did I open a? Oh, I guess I am on a LAN. You know what, let me get off a LAN. Maybe that'll help the lag a little bit. But anyway. Fuck. Okay, so Jumpcraft is dying. Every server is dying. Weebcraft actually was thriving up until... You know, it's kind of interesting. There was Tidecraft, which inspired me to make Weebcraft. And then Tidecraft 2.0 came out right before I killed off Weebcraft, because that was kind of my little excuse. I didn't want to kill Weebcraft because it was in the heart of when everyone actually was like working on the server, and I was like, I'd kind of be an ass to like just end it while people have been dedicating a lot of their time to it. But I mean, and I also did it kind of without warning. Kind of like how Pixel Porridge or whatever did it for his server. And it kind of, I don't know, nothing has been going good for the parkour community in like recent times. There's like YouTube videos, I guess, like Entity Wolf's channel and Ub's channel. There's plenty of potential left in parkour. It's just that like with the current format of how rank ups work, you can't really explore that well, because people are stuck doing like the same old easy predictable jumps as usual. Whereas in the like if there was something like kind of like how Waza worked or whatever in the Chelsea network server, that Japanese server, that actually kind of like allows exploration for the game's mechanics. And it's also in the most recent version, which means that the game's mechanics are much more diverse. Whereas like all of the very dedicated parkour servers right now are like catering to 1.8.9, and I mean, hell, even I'm playing 1.8.9 right now, because it's like, it's what everyone decided was the best version, because it was like the least laggy for stuff, but it's kind of held the community back. So I think the only thing that would really, actually help parkour become maybe a little more interesting again, and not in this like dead, lingering state, is if people dedicated to just 1.13 only servers, so they could actually use like 1.13 blocks, which have different physics to them. If they stop doing like rank ups, at least in the way that they do them right now, with like copying the X formula, which has been like this is, I mean, that's literally what this that I'm playing right now is. The Weebcraft 13 rank up. But if they stop copying like Jumpcraft, I feel like servers could definitely take off more. And, you know, like, just come up with something new. Perhaps something like a competition. Like, I feel like if there was a competition in Minecraft, that would actually, or a competition in parkour, just even for fun, that could probably be something new. And, you know, if like an actual anti-cheat was created that actually worked, like, Pixel Jumps implemented, finally, Pixel Jumps implemented the, what's it called, Fair Play Minecraft, but first of all, that doesn't even work entirely, and it also doesn't, like you have to actually, like, get people who don't use Mac to use it, and you also have to pay for it. Like, from what I heard, it was like $15, $10 or $15, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, even when running Weebcraft, I never paid for a plugin. I would just pay my $10 a month to keep the server running, because, like, it's kind of, it feels pointless to, like, pay for plugins when you could just make do with what you have. And so, let's see. Yeah, abandon the rank up idea. I mean, not entirely, but, like, at least do something new with it. Maybe if, like, I think the whole Waza thing is really good. Or, like, Mineverse Parkour, just because, like, it actually had something interesting to it. And maybe if people put their time into, like, making a single server instead of making, like, a ton of different servers just with a few, like, with their friends, because, like, that has completely fragmented the community. Like, there was already a divide between Jumpcraft players and, like, the banned Jumpcraft players who would play, like, Wizard Parkour and Weeb and whatever. But it's even worse now because people don't like playing Jumpcraft as much. So all, like, the good players have gone to other servers, but also the other servers have, like, divided their player base. And it's even worse now because all of the new servers don't have an anti-cheat. Like, I've been able to just hack my way through every single server in the past, like, 5 months, which has been part of the reason why I've basically quit the game, is because, like, if I can cheat that easily and no one catches me, really, like, pretty much anyone could, and people have, and, like, it's just kind of like, why even bother playing if people are just gonna hack? So it comes down to, like, the only thing that's really fun is doing stuff that's, like the whole blip thing and whatever, or just, like, trying to discover new physics in the game is a little bit of fun. But other than that, parkour is basically dead. And, yeah, I have nothing else to say about that. Well, fuck it.